What's going on, everybody? So now this video is kind of all over the place. It started out I was going to rip this thing around today along with the little one I made like it. The reason I wanted to do that was I noticed HPI has released their Venture 18 version of the U4 Fun Haver, and before they did it, I did it. Boom, baby. And mine's only a 124 scale because I use the FMS Chaser. What's it called again? I have to look for the controller every time to get it right. FSC Chaser. Now, mine I love. And the reason mine is actually correct is I got independent front, straight axle in the rear, just like it's supposed to be. Heated up my bumper, bent it up. Turns out that one's pretty straight up and down also, so shabam, baby. So last night I got my red paint marker and we got the red all the way around on the wheels. They turned out great, to be honest. And I was just messing around and got lucky. Now, I really got lucky it ain't a big mess because my paint marker was messed up and it just tried to pour out on me. But we got her. And it comes with this, the body actually comes with this little spare. It's not a real deal, but it works in the back and it does actually match what we got here. So obviously this big bad girl right there, 6S, well 4 or 6 or 5 if you want to do it, I mean, get technical. But so now this thing here being the FMS Chaser, I don't think it tells you to run 3S, but you can if you want to. That's what I do anyway. I went ahead and I purchased this bad boy. Plugs right in, fits in there perfectly. I'll try to get the link in the description if I can find it again. Yeah, you put a 3S in this little baby right here, it wakes it right up. Now, and again, HPI, I was thinking about getting one of theirs today. That's the reason that I started this video. I was going to probably go ahead and order one, have it coming. It's 1/18 scale. I got a 124, but then I seen the straight axle and I started to hesitate on it. And then I found something on Facebook Marketplace that has nothing to do with these. I mean, it's nothing even like it, but something I've been wanting for quite a while. So it's something also that can run 4 or 6S, runs up to like 50 miles an hour. And I've been wanting one to add to the collection for a while. Something I do not have at all in the collection. I'll let you ponder on that for just a second while we get to another part of this video real quick. So over here, this little package, something I got in the mail today. Since we can't do all this today, it's already past that. Maybe tomorrow we can rip these around. So something else I got though. Let me make room here. All right, y'all. Now before we get to the awesome new used RC I got off Facebook Marketplace. It is huge. It's cool. They have an upgraded version now. Mine's the older one, but that's okay. It's awesome. 4S and 6S capable. Wait, I gotta quit talking about it. Let's just talk about this first. So now, the reason I got the Michigans over here, that's what I had in the little package that I got. I ordered some shocks. Now, I've been telling everybody lately about the shocks I put on my TRX4 Blazer. Up until this point, I have been nothing but Desert Lizard shock guy because all the other ones I've tried have failed. Nothing can compare to them, really. I've had stock shocks that are better than most aftermarket ones until now. I put the 90mm blue ones on my Police Blazer and it has been phenomenal. When you tune the oil just right, they work great. You'll see they're short shocks. They don't go far. These ones are. These are 70s. I don't expect a lot of flex out of this vehicle, which it has not anyway, right? The problem with this truck, there's no kind of dampening at all. When you buy these vehicles, if you get the Michigan, if you get the FJ40, you get the Atlas, all of them, you cannot put oil in these shocks, and these shocks are garbage. They're short. I believe they're less than 70 even because they go straight to the frame, which is awesome because they didn't want shock towers coming through on their bodies, their hard bodies. So therefore, if we can see it or not, it goes right to the frame there. Super cheap shocks. Now I put some like 90 millimeters or something on here one time and leaned them to where it would lower down, and it worked. Had a lot of flex, but it was too tippy. So when I discovered the shocks on my Blazer with that brand being so good and no leaks, nothing, I was like, well, I seen they had a 70. I said, we're gonna have to try it. Now here's the deal. These shocks originally were 20 bucks, $19.99 on Amazon. As of right now, they're on sale for $16.99. I highly recommend them. As long as you know how to tune shocks, oil, put the oil in correctly, which I'm going to show you in this video, how I do it, you will like them too. So now, before we get to installing those, I want to show you what I bought today. So I was going to get a smaller one that was brand new, and then I found this baby for less than half price of a new one. I said, okay, and it's like brand new still. The box maybe not, but this is. So without getting all into it, let's just jump to it. So today I decided I wanted a boat at the last minute, because I had a nice boat. There's one of them fan boats, and it could run up to 4S, but when I would run the batteries I had together, it would always shut off. I could never make but a couple passes. I didn't have correct batteries at the time, so I really didn't care for the fan boat. I always wanted one that either had a motor, internal motor, you know, regular boat, or even a toy boat that was toy grade that had the little outboard motor on the back. Looked scale, but was junk. I'd almost rather have one of those than that fan boat, but that is not what we got. Let's just show you. So we ended up with the big old 50 mile an hour, 80 kilometers. That's right, the big Spartan, baby. So now, there's not really much on the box to show you. The box is kind of a little bit worn, so let's just do this instead. So bam, boom, baby. There we go. This thing is massive for a boat, and I mean, I know there are a lot bigger ones, but for me anyway, it's pretty darn big. And it's in mint condition. I mean, it's only been ran a couple times. So, all right, y'all, man, that thing takes up the entire garage. Sweet. I didn't look to see how many inches the thing says it is, but again, it's not a new boat. Been around for a while. I don't know how old this particular one is. It's barely used. He said he ran it a couple times. I believe it. So, anyway, the new one with the self-right feature would be awesome. But as long as you drive good, try to be careful. Keep it closer to the shore so you can walk out and get it. You'll be okay. So, those who don't know what we're talking about, if you're not into the boats or you don't know what self-right is, they have a little compartment on one side. On the newer version, there's a hole right here. And then there's a hollow tube goes all the way through, and then out the back there's a hole there. It's just a big hollow section, so that if it's upside down, water will fill that side and it will slowly roll it back over. And once it'll sit there cockeyed, but then once you go, it will push all the water out the back, and you're good to go. This one, if it flips upside down, you're just upside down, I think. Now I did see some of them, they end up standing straight up, because there's a big foam block from here forward that keeps you from sinking, basically. And once it's standing, it's also like a cup of water. Air won't come out of it if it stays up. So when it does that, if it's me, as long as it's getting a signal, I'm going to try to floor it and launch it into the air, maybe it'll come down the right way. Maybe the top will come off and I'll lose everything. We'll see, but that's my theory. It's probably a bad one. So now let's take a peek inside real quick before I move on and put these shocks on the Michigan. So, boom, baby. Again, she looks really clean inside. She's in really good shape. It's got a massive brushless motor there. Castle system, that's awesome. Not to mention the whole 4S, 6S capable. She's gonna scoot. And one of the coolest parts about it, buying it used, the one benefit I have, other than not getting a newer one, and the fact that I saved a ton of money by doing this one also has EC5 connectors on it for me. I don't have any Traxxas batteries, so I basically was thinking I was going to be dead in the water until I bought some adapters like this, because the only good batteries that I have for this are running EC5 connectors. This is what I run in my big U4 Ridge Racer that I showed earlier, if I showed it, but yeah. So this is 2 3S packs, nice big fat ones though. But they'll keep a nice little bit of weight to them. And I think this boat, it could use that little bit of weight up front. From what I've seen in videos, they'll help keep it from flopping around so much, hopefully. Anyway, that's my plan. So since it has the connectors I need, I can actually test this thing out. I didn't think of that. So can you run this on 3S, 4S, and 6S? I'm curious now, because he does have the jumper on here to where I could run one battery. But usually when they do that, it's because they either have a 4 or a 6S pack. And then you just put another one on the other side for to even it out for weight, but you plug in to the one you want to use. Since I'm running the 2 separate packs, I will plug them in individually for 6S. I know you can run 4S, 2 separate packs. That's what it recommends. 2 separate 4 or 2 separate 2s or 2 separate 3s. Now, will it run on just the 3S? I don't know. That's a pretty big system there, a Castle system or whatever it is. So anyway, that's something we'd have to test out. Not that I care. I'm never going to run it that slow, am I? So here in just a little bit, I'll take a better look at it, but I don't want to bore you guys with my used toy. Let me know if you've already had one, or if you got one, or if you want one, or your opinion on them. I'm very interested to know what you think. Now, I've wanted a boat for years, but I was kind of more into the whole scale, ugly, slow ones, because they look scale when you pull them behind your truck. But of course I want a fast one too. Jeez, look at that thing. Just look at it. Now, I know this was built for speed, but it would be cool, I think, even with this huge style, if this had like a windshield and some fake seats and you could put a driver in it. I could probably 3D print a new top on there. It'd leak like hell probably, but I could do it. Anyway, now we're just rambling. So let me move this again so we can get back to the shock talk. I want to show you how to set up these shocks. Alright y'all, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I set these shocks up. And if you do it the same, you'll be very happy with them. If you live somewhere where it's warm, I do highly recommend thicker oil if you like a slow movement like I do. Thin oil will just beeble bobble just like that. So, of course that has no oil. Now in this here type of shock, there's nothing else in here. The only thing in there is going to be this plunger itself going back and forth. That's it. So the only space you need is enough for this little bad boy here and the rod, I guess. So you can fill them almost to the top. I mean, not quite, but you'll see. There's not a lot to interfere with anything. And the fact these are on sale for $16.99 right now, I mean, you can't really go wrong to try them. Whatever size you want, 110 millimeter. So right now I'm up to the thread. A lot of times I'll leave it loose compress it, then tighten it. That way some of it can escape. But I feel like I'm going to be good already, so I didn't worry about it. Those feel pretty dang good. See, like if they're not full, then when this comes up, it will shoot up quick at one point, like I said. So right there, it stays pretty much the same all the way. It would go really fast after about halfway up if it wasn't. So that's cool. Nice and smooth. I like that. Well, alright. We got all of them tuned in. Again, these shocks are so easy to adjust and tune. So, okay, guys. It's going to be perfect for me because of the little bit bigger tire. I said I wouldn't mind if they were a little bigger, and that's what you got. You got a, again, these are 70s. I'm going to assume these are like a 62, maybe a 60, well, more like a 65 even. They're very close to a 70, but not quite, you know. They're above a 60, I would say. Have to look in the book to see, but that's a perfect deal. And when you compress them, they're still about the same difference. So that's awesome. I got the first one started, and let's see which way is the best way to put it on. I'm gonna say this way. We're gonna keep them in the same location they were. I was thinking about making it more straight up and down or something, but I started thinking about it. I was like, well, you know what? This is perfect, actually. Yeah. So, alright, y'all. I found what the problem was on my suspension not working good up front, and I fixed it. It was in the steering links, but not a big deal. We took care of it. Now we can get it all back together here. The best $16.99 shock money can buy right here. Premium $16 shock. I tell you what. Look at them babies in there. We got some bling bling. Oh man, did you see that just now? Wow. My goodness, I love it. Look at this. I'm telling you what. You'll never have another $16 shock like it. We have the perfect stance on this Jeep now too. Wow, I'm so happy. Nice. Things work smooth. That back one back there seems a little stiff. It might have a little too much oil, but we'll see. The front ones are really nice. Compared to what we had earlier, I'd say we have done something there. I cannot wait to actually test it out. Now, you don't get a lot of flex, but none of these usually do. It's still the same as what it was probably, but you got so much more control on that stuff. Oh yeah, very nice, very happy. Don't forget, the link is in the description for those shocks. And hell, $16, you go wrong, or if you don't like them, what are you losing, right? Not even 20 bucks. And if you like them, you realize you probably just saved a ton of money in the future, because I plan on buying about probably at least 4 or 5 more sets myself, because all the trucks I wanted to put the Desert Lizard shocks on, I no longer have to spend 60 bucks a piece. I can now spend 16. It'll probably go back up to 20 before you know it, if it ain't already. I don't know, but at the time I made this video, they're $16.99. So yeah, I'm gonna put a battery in this thing and I'm gonna slowly drive it for a second, just because I can. So, alright y'all, I put in a tiny little 2S battery. I don't know if it'll last long enough to do this little test, but let's just have a little fun for a second before we quit for the night. So again, this is the 1200 kV Fusion SE. Used to be $69, now they are, I think these are $89, or $79 I mean. No, I think they are $89. And then the 1800 kV that used to be $89 is now $99, or used to be $79, now it's $99. Kind of a bummer. Now I have seen some other sites that might have it as low as $79 and $89, but I don't know for sure. Oh yeah, this thing crawls so good though. Now even with these little shorty shocks, we're able to do what we got to do, except for that back tire back there. Kind of made a liar of me, but hey. Ta-da! That's pretty sweet. Alright, y'all. Kill that light right quick. Shabam. I love these trucks, man. Or Jeeps, whatever you want to call them. Michigans, FJ40s, the Atlas, all of them. They're great. Budget friendly and great. Now obviously the Atlas, being it's not a hard body, you can get it for a lot less, 250 bucks. I think these are still $329, somewhere in that range. Worth every penny. My honest opinion, I think the FJ40 I like a little better. I love this one, and I think once I paint it different or do something, I need to finally do that. I was gonna do the whole Jurassic Park thing for my wife, all that stuff. I may still do it. She loves the game and the movies, so I'm thinking about it. But either way, I need to paint one of them. I want to paint one maybe white instead. So that's another day, another dollar. So all right, y'all. So I guess stick around for tomorrow's video. Hopefully, we're gonna try to put that thing in the water somewhere. Now that I know I got batteries for it, we're set to go. And big shout out to the guy who sold it to me off of Marketplace. He's somewhat local. I mean, we're an hour from each other or something, so that's awesome. I really appreciate it. He said he might tell his son about the channel because his son was into crawlers. I don't know how old he is or whatever, so I have something for everybody here. I'm not no fancy big channel. I'm just a little guy having fun, but kids enjoy it, adults enjoy it. Kids probably hate it, adults probably hate it. It probably goes both ways, but still. I try to keep it kid friendly the best I can. I may do little jokes here and there that are hopefully over their head, and sometimes language might get past me on accident, but I try to keep it clean best I can. So anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, share, comment. I gotta quit rocking in this chair. Click on the links in the description below, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.